Hi, I hope you're well. Welcome to this reflection for today. I hope the week is treating you kindly so far. I don't know about you, but I am taking a bit of getting used to this colder weather at the moment. It feels like summer has gone in an instant, and we're into some pretty cold, unpleasant, damp stuff, aren't we? Anyway, enough of the weather. For today's reflection, I'd just like you to ponder a very simple question. And the question's this: what is the speed of love? What is the speed of love? Now, while you're pondering that, I'd like to approach that question by actually reflecting on a second question, a connected question, and that is, what is the speed of our lives? Now, it seems to me that one of the defining characteristics of modern life, of progress, if you will, is an ever increasing speed of life, pace of life. Our lives are structured, aren't they, around almost instant responses to our needs. We can have pretty much any product we like shipped to us in our homes overnight without having to go anywhere. We can take in the news from across the world instantly. We can communicate our views instantly across the world. We can watch any piece of TV or film or movie when we want, wherever we want, on whatever device we want. Our culture is it's like one of instant gratification, really, isn't it, in many ways? We are the world of social media platforms, of Amazon Prime, of Netflix. Now, you might think that all of that might make our lives more manageable and organisable if we can have whatever we want on tap wherever and whenever we need it. And yet, I think for so many of us, modern life's overriding characteristic is actually busyness. In a world where we're constantly promised sort of new nirvanas by technology, it seems like technology just enables us to make our lives busier and faster. Now, don't get me wrong. If you know me, then you will know that I love a bit of technology. I love what technology brings to my life. This reflection is definitely not an anti-technology rant. But if we're honest, I think we can say that we don't use technology to slow our lives down and create more breathing space. We generally use technology to cram more in. Our lives might have become more efficient, in terms of getting more stuff done in a certain amount of time. But I suppose my question would be, are we or the people around us flourishing more as a result? Or are we just getting more stressed and busy and rushed than we ever were? Is getting more stuff done in a given amount of time really the measure that we actually want for our lives? Now, having pondered that question about the speed of our lives, let me come back to my main question, which was, what is the speed of love? Now, what if love actually has a speed? And what if that speed is 3 miles an hour? And if that were the case, what would that say to us about the speed of our lives if we want to be a people of love, if we want to be a people whose lives are shaped by love, whose lives communicate love in everything that we do and say? Well, in 1979, the Japanese author Kosuke Koyama wrote a beautiful little book called simply 3 Mile an Hour God. 3 Mile an Hour God. And he observed, very simply, that when God chose to come into the world in the shape of Jesus of Nazareth, he moved at 3 miles an hour. Jesus moved at a speed that enabled him to see the people around him, to really notice them and to hear their stories and their needs, and to respond to them, to minister to them, to love them. The accounts of Jesus' life in the Bible are just simply full of Jesus slowly, that is at 3 miles an hour, making his way around the communities that he found himself in. He stopped regularly to rest. He stopped regularly to pray. He stopped regularly just to spend time among the people that he had been sent to love into life. And I wonder whether this way of being in the world has something powerful to say to our overwhelmingly busy and fast-paced 21st century lives. I know it certainly does to me. So if this little reflection speaks to nobody else but to me, then it won't be wasted. If Jesus communicated love best at 3 miles an hour, what makes us think that our busy and frantic lives will best communicate love to those around us? God is love. The Bible tells us God is love. And Jesus shows us that God and that love in its most perfect form. This perfect form of love in the life of Jesus chose to move at 3 miles an hour. So love does have a speed in the world, and it's 3 miles an hour. So today, can I just encourage you to reflect on this idea that love's perfect speed is 3 miles an hour, and just to ask yourself what difference that might make to you and those around you. Have a wonderful and blessed day. I'm off for a 3 mile an hour walk in the rain. Bye-bye.